Alright, y'all, it is now time for the fives of the week, as always brought to you by 24th Street Pizza, St. Clair Shore of the Green Hornets, my uncle's auto repair, and Eli's Eats in the Streets, baby. So,
Eats in the streets.
Today, we are doing sports conspiracies and scandals.
You don't say.
You don't say. Slight buzzing in the background, you don't say.
You don't say.
That's all what's going on up here. So, we're going to work through that.
We're going to work through it.
Miguel, I'm going to start with you. What's your first one?
My first one was the Black Sox scandal of the 1919 World Series.
Old school.
Old school was one of the big ones with the players taking basically a bribe, gambling, throwing the World Series on purpose. One of the biggest names, one of the best players, I think, ever to play the game, Shoeless Joe Jackson, got banned from the MLB.
How you would take that off there?
That's the problem. You got that leaning against a column if there's crease.
Sorry, Mikey, continue, brother.
Yeah, no, so it was basically in the era of baseball to where, players weren't getting paid that much. There was like something called, it was kind of like the reverse clause to where players, like, they couldn't refuse a contract, and if they refused a contract from the team and they couldn't play, and then they had to get granted permission to play. So then this kind of like involved players like, yo, I'm going to play for this team, I don't want to, I'm going to try to make some more money like that. So it's crazy to think like the mecca of baseball.
Back then in 1919.
1919, getting some guys swindled into 8 guys.
And who they blew the World Series against?
I want to say...
The Reds?
Yes, it was the Reds then, I believe. So, yeah, it was just a crazy time. I mean, taking a bribe, throwing the World Series on purpose. I mean, these guys that were really good, pitchers and stuff, just going out there playing the worst games that they had and stuff like that. So it was just some crazy time in baseball back then. And then that guy created like the whole union and stuff like that for the baseball.
Yes, absolutely.
The union.
Stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that was the big one to kick it off.
Very good one. I had that good on my list.
That's
Very good. Yeah.
Alright, Hollywood Apple Snooch. What do you got?
it.
I'm sure you'll probably know this one. A lot of people know this one. The 1978-79 Boston College basketball team. Point shaving. There was 8 players that were convicted and indicted on charges of with the score missing shots, setting the game, pulling themselves out. The fix was in. I mean, back in the 78 and 79 era, like, this stuff is real, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and I think we had something this year on with that in there about someone sinning themselves.
Jonte Porter, Michael Porter
Yeah.
Jr.'s brother.
I touched on that a few weeks ago.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, we're supposed to put some kind of thing on there with about where they're going to control all this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just messed up. I mean, you think that should be a lifetime ban?
Oh, I mean, I think, like, look at the whole Shohei Ohtani thing. The guy can't really speak English.
Did you almost say show tit?
I was going to say Shohei.
Show tit.
Show tit.
I was going to
I thought you were going to say
Shohei.
all too.
Show tit.
So it's just like,
Shantae Ohtani.
Did you pick up on that, Gary? Because I did just a little bit, maybe a little bit.
yeah, so I just think it's like, in the world of sports, like, I mean, they can geo-track everything that you do. You place a bet, they know exactly where you place the bet, time, place, everything you were at. So, and if it's on your phone, you're screwed. So, I don't know, I think it's some crazy shit though. Lifetime ban, I don't know if it should go that long. The guy bet like $22,000 in total. I don't even think he won his money back.
But remember that guy who's got his money down on that game.
Yep.
And this guy knows the fix is in, and he's like, man, I'm going to fake an injury. Or I'm just going to deliberately miss it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My back.
They hit his under on the points or some shit.
Yeah.
Crazy shit like that.
And it can be controlled, and it's just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It is nuts. I don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
No.
When you mess with the integrity of the game, I think that's when people draw a line, right? Like, it's different, like we talked about. NFL players, I think that's why it's legal, so they let them back into the league. But if you're betting on your own games, you know, like some people we're going to get into tonight, totally different ballgame, right?
Big time.
It's not what people want to see.
No.
A lot of people pay money, man. They just want to go through the sport of it. So, yeah, bad stuff there. GMB over you.
Alright, so my number one, I put baseball fans saw the most famous imperfect game back June 10th of 2010, where Tigers pitcher Armando Gallarraga was closing in on his perfect game, and umpire Jim Joyce ruled the final batter safe at first. After the game, even Joyce admitted he blew the call in the perfect game. And Easy E, we got the audio.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Look at Dombrowski. Oh my God. He says, oh my God.
Sickening.
Do you guys remember watching that game?
I just got chills again.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
just-
got the hair standing up on my
That
arm.
sucked. I mean, and they did, I think, a 30 for 30. Was it 30 for 30 or they did a special?
They did a special on it and
And-
stuff like that, but that was crazy.
It was crazy.
Before the time of just replay. Like,
Before we,
how can you,
that's right.
that play was so blatantly just, he was
He
out.
blew
I know it was a blown call, human error, this and that, but it's like, at the same point in time,
And do you
he was
remember?
out by over a half a step.
And in that situation, why don't you just err on the side
You
and
call
call
him
him
out.
out? You know what I mean?
Literally, I don't even know why Jim Choice ever would have thought to call him safe on that one. Like, he went and was the most elaborate safe call you could ever seen. He just,
Hollywood, would you say like you got lost in the moment in the boys' mouths?
I would say he had piccolitis. And
And it's real.
it's just sad that, because even he, Galarraga, he forgave him. He said, I understand. And that was just sad. Because I don't think the kid ever threw one after that.
no, they gifted him a Corvette, but I'd rather have a perfect
Yeah,
game.
GM got him a Corvette.
Yeah.
And
You don't want that in the moment.
Yeah, I know.
In the
I'm
moment.
sorry, buddy, but you got robbed of history.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, there's
there's
a car,
a
here you go. I mean, I guess Jim Joyce, the cool thing, he owned up to it.
Yes.
I mean,
He was
you see a
emotional about it.
grown man cry, sit there after the thing, and then during the day when Galarraga came out and exchanged the lineup cards.
That
and
was
stayed with
great,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was all because the skipper wanted to do that.
Yep.
The actual call when Jim Joyce called him,
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
We're safe.
I wonder what that conversation was like when Leland went out there and he was
Oh,
giving
yeah.
it to him. Because he was giving it to him.
Oh, you just wrote a shot of history.
Well, speaking of, go ahead.
No, he handled it with dignity and
Oh,
grace. Though.
big time.
He handled it with class. You could see how he smiled in the video there. He kind of knew it. Like he could have just went off on the rails and just started yelling at, but he just handled it with class.
Yeah.
He was
You know?
hurt. He's hurt.
Speaking of giving it to him, let's talk about Tiger Woods and his sex tape. Okay, you want to talk about a scandal? Guy on the mountaintop, right? And then like one comes out, and then 2, 3,
Oh,
5,
God.
10, and it's just on and on and on. And well, Tiger's smooth dude, good looking cat, right? But no, who would have thought? Apparently not. This guy was slaying, man. I mean,
Slaying the beast.
way to get knocked off the pedestal, though. I mean, guy was rolling and just living this whole other life, on the side.
18.
18 women.
Wild.
I mean,
Fame and money, man.
you just think you're untouchable,
You're
right?
untouchable, man.
Well, he said he had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it.
I
I
bricked.
really do. Yeah, I mean, you don't expect it. I guess, like you're Tiger Woods, but you are human. And he had a fetish. And it got out of hand. And still to this day, it hurts him because he really loved that woman.
Yeah.
And it was out of control.
I mean, you do gotta love the comeback story too. As bad
Oh,
as it
yeah,
was,
absolutely.
Obviously,
The hips blown out, replaced, and I wonder why. Oh, shit.
When he came back and won the Masters, that was a dope moment. Any sports fan, I think, could agree that that was really cool. And his dad was there, and all that stuff. So, and his son, right?
Yeah.
So he made it back, and obviously not the same Tiger, but
No.
not the same guy that captivated us for all the right reasons. He did the same for
Right,
the wrong
right,
reasons.
right.
So that's the first one that came top of mind.
Yeah.
So Miguel, back to you, brother.
Alright, back to me. Let's see, number two. Number two is just a laundry list of them. It's all the Detroit Lion isms in the history of them. Just recently, you got the process, the catch process. You got the
Oh,
10-second runoff. You got the challenging of the play, but you can't challenge the play against Houston. when Justin Forsett was supposed to be down, and then you got the not reporting eligible. I mean, all these things in the history of the NFL that the Lions have been front and center of, and then these rule changes happen after something happens. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Just
They've been on the wrong side of every rule.
every rule.
They rewrote the rule
And then the
book
next year they
pretty
come
much
back
for
and like,
Lions.
oh yeah, hey, we'll make this rule change.
We
So
talked about that on the Lions special.
It's
There's
wild.
going to be a 30 for 30 one day.
oh, it has.
Let's say
has
they
to
win
be.
the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Finally, Kingdom Come, right?
Yeah.
And we're there, and you can look back at all the things that we went through. You know, because I was thinking about a couple when I think of the flag pickup and then this debacle on Monday night last year. There's just too many of them. You know?
Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers, the Phantom face mask with Devin Taylor, and then the Hail Mary, just everything. You go down a laundry list of plays, and it's insane.
Rodgers
don't you
still
think
deserves
we could-
an Oscar for that?
Yeah, don't. Oh, yeah, he was great. Don't you think though, if we do, that's when we could take just a big deep breath and say all the shit we've been through.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
That's what makes it even more sweeter when we get to that day. But yeah, the Lions have, man, we've dealt with that for years.
I know.
Always on the short side.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different now.
It's different.
It's so much different now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's rare air.
But what a good feeling.
Uncharted waters.
Uncharted waters.
All the
Yeah.
cliches, man.
Yes, you said it right.
Oh,
No
very
doubt
good.
about that.
Hollywood.
I got the 2017 Astros. They outscored. They were picking up signs and watching them behind the dugout in there and decoding the signs.
Who was the manager of that team?
That was, I believe, Hinch.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Banging on the garbage can still.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Banging on the drum.
You go back and you watch replays of the games, you can hear it.
You
clear as
hear
day.
it banging on the
But we
garbage.
don't realize that. We don't realize what's going on.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You go back and dissect it, you can clearly hear banging on the trash cans.
Like,
Crazy.
were they doing that in the dugout or was it somewhere?
Yeah, they're doing it in the dugout.
They were-
literally,
that
just
was
banging.
kind of
banging
Morse
on the garbage.
but then they were going
Right.
behind it, and that's when they were watching it live.
Yeah, they were going like they had some like people in like center field shit and stuff like that. All this like
Yes.
crazy
Spy
shit.
game.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Wow. Whole system down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
D over you.
Yeah, so I'm going to go right off of what Miguel said. Lions last year's game versus Cowboys in Week 17, December 30th, that Sunday night game. The penalty on the left tackle, Taylor Decker, reported eligible, but he wasn't seen because it wasn't Dan Skipper.
Skip that.
And the official Allen erased that 2-point conversion. And then we had 2 more cracks at it, but we never got it in. Just to bring more salt to that wound, here's an audio clip.
Everyone's going crazy.
Hold on.
See, that was bullshit.
Dude, this house, it was euphoric.
It was
And
insane.
then it was just, you saw the life come out of everybody. There's a
Dude,
flag.
Joe Buck's voice crackled. His voice never crackles.
Never.
No.
He was pumped up.
He was pumped.
What a great thing
Legit.
for the city, and all of a sudden,
Crazy.
wait, there's a flag.
No.
What? What do you mean? It's good.
Only
Even they showed
can happen
Dak
in
Prescott.
Detroit.
He was
One.
like, he couldn't believe it, right?
There comes a time when you got to throw a little money around, you know what I'm
I'll
saying?
tell you
I
what.
feel you there, Gary. I feel you there, Gary
I'll
Jones.
tell
Right
you
there.
what.
I'll tell you now.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
boy.
23 seconds left in that game. They had 2 more
We
shots
deserve
at it, and man,
The
that
Lions deserve
still stings. To me, it still hurts.
It hurts, but it paved the way for us to go to the NFC Championship. It could have been a 1 seed, 2 seed.
That's
Change
true.
shit up. Everything happened for a reason.
Yeah,
It ain't that
happens
something.
in the
The
second half.
championship game.
I
We
don't
ran.
know. Niners had what, 14 wins?
Yeah, so like
So
they
it wouldn't matter
if we,
technically.
if we would have won that game, then I think there would have been some like tiebreaker shit or something that we could have had over them. And if they would have lost like the last game, we could have been like the 2 seed or 1 seed or
Right.
something like that. So I can't remember exactly how it went, but there's some tiebreakers in effect too.
Scuba Steve.
Man,
Scuba Stevie.
What up,
he
Steve?
spelled your name Hollywood.
That's all right. It's good.
Not a hose, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And while Scuba Steve's on, really quick before I hand you the podium here, Philly, Scuba said to make sure that we mention Motorcycle Awareness Month again, the month of May. Be aware, it's us out there. That's what they're saying. So again, keep an eye on the motorcycles, folks.
Yes, we gotta watch out for the motorcycles.
Yeah, share the road.
Absolutely. Share the road.
Share the road.
Absolutely. For all our biker friends out there and family, and
You understand?
you understand.
All right, so I got my number 2. I got to go with Michael Jordan. I mean, after 3 championships consecutively,
Yes.
you know, you take this hiatus. You know, there's the gambling rumors. His father. You know, a lot of people say, you know, the NBA was like, hey, you need to go away for a couple years to kind of get your gambling issues in line. So it's still kind of talked about. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just so great of an athlete at the pinnacle of his career, and then he's just going playing minor league baseball. It's just so odd, you know.
I didn't like seeing him at the baseball. It's like, you're not Jordan now.
I mean, I get it, you know, because Bo did it, right?
Yeah, Bo Jackson was
Bo
great
was-
at both
it's different.
sports.
Bo was-
Deion Sanders
Bo was-
did it too for a while, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, he did. But for Michael, man, I mean,
That was weird.
I didn't like
I'm
it.
gonna lie.
imagine if he stayed. How, would he have a horn?
Oh man.
Oh, there ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt.
Brock agrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a big one for me. I mean, just as a kid, just being captivated by Michael Jordan, and he's gone, you know. So it was definitely mind-pickling.
Oh, mind tickling. Then he came back with the old Wizards over there.
Yeah. So that's my number 2, Mike. Back to you.
All right, number 3 on mine was Deflategate.
Deflate
Patriots
gate.
and Tom Brady in the
Yes.
AFC Championship game against the Colts. So when they deflated the balls on that cold night, Tom Brady needed a little better grip.
I mean, do we have to have it at a certain rate? Is there
There
a
is
PSI?
Certain PSI.
There's a certain PSI that they have to check the balls before the game. It was like a standard rule of practice and stuff like that. They had to, I think they check them like
Yeah,
when
they
they're
have
back
like
in
a
the locker
little
room or
gadget,
something
they
like
test
that.
the pressure with them
Yeah,
and
so
stuff
all that
like
kind
that.
of stuff to
little
make sure it's
cones.
good. And then,
So he didn't like to feel a little bit, so he let it go out.
yeah, little air out, grip the ball better in the cold weather, throw the ball a little bit
And they could
better.
have did the same thing.
Could do the same
Now,
thing.
are rules meant to be broken,
Yep.
or is it petty?
I got a point. You got a point.
You know, I mean,
You deflated your balls lately?
Mine been deflated, guy.
there's no better feeling.
So yeah, that was a crazy one. I mean, Brady got suspended for 4 games. They got slapped with some fines, lost some draft picks.
Yeah.
And then,
Now, let me ask you this, Mike. Do you put that over Spygate, though? Because Spygate, now you're talking about filming practices.
Spygate
whatnot,
was
what have you,
crazy.
So,
Was they banging on a drum?
no.
No,
Spygate was
can or whatever.
sending spies in, recording what the Jets
Oh, yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
shit like that. So that was crazy. I think Spygate. I think everyone spies in their own sense. Look at, I mean,
Try to get enough bread.
Michigan, so to say,
That's
with
right.
all that bullshit and
People do it in
stuff.
Little League football.
Stallions and stuff. It's the same thing. So I think everyone practice is kind of out there, but deflating the ball is a different kind of thing. It's just like in baseball, people scratching up the ball using maybe some resin or something. And the guy just got who was it? The guy for the Houston Astros who just threw the no hitter this year. He just got suspended 10 games for having a foreign substance on his thing. So it's just that kind of thing. Sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't get caught.
Yeah, but I noticed like now, like when the pitchers come off the mound in between innings,
Oh, they
have
gotta
to go,
check it.
they have to go see an ump,
Mhm.
and then he's got to show
Oh,
his
yeah.
hands, he's got to take the
Gotta
cap
do
off,
everything.
he's got to
Yep.
inspect everything.
Mhm. Yep, they gotta
Is that
inspect them.
protocol all the time?
It's protocol, like, or it's an umpire just wants to check them.
Is it random
right.
or is it every inning?
I don't think they have to. I mean, you can see a guy go into his hat. You can see a guy rubbing his hands. Like everyone does a different little.
So
twitch
there's a
around
little-
the mound.
So if they see something that
See
looks
something
a little
like that,
out of
okay,
the ordinary, they're
come
just
over
like,
here.
"Can't come
Yeah.
on over here."
Yeah, let's check this out.
Yeah, let's check it out. So
Interesting.
I think, I mean, you ain't cheating if you ain't trying, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not betting on games. that's-
Exactly.
Right, I mean, I think it's, yeah,
Exactly.
we all send scouts here, right? See what they're doing, find their plays, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good stuff. Hollywood, over to you.
Sweet, I got this. But before this, we got Scuba Steve. He said he's going to have the AMVETs in that bike thing
Yeah.
all hold their fingers up for 5s of the week.
Yes, sir. We appreciate
Thank you,
brother.
Scuba Steve.
Yes,
Love
sir.
you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Stu.
that.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
be over there to smell your finger later.
Oh, this one.
How's she smell?
He doesn't see the humor in that. He hasn't broken a smile the whole time.
It's okay.
Let's talk about
Serious producer over there.
let's talk about the back in '65 when Muhammad Ali, the old Phantom punched the Sonny Liston. they said they proclaimed that he never hit him, caught him with that right hand. He said it was called the twist punch at the end where he snaps it. Some say he never hit him. It's still a conspiracy to this day of did Muhammad Ali actually knock him out? Sonny Liston.
I don't know. It's a big one.
What do you think?
It was 1965. I wasn't even here yet, but I have heard of the story. But
Same.
you know, it's kind of like.
What do you feel in your bells, Howie? What do you? I mean, if you had to call it right now.
What do you feel in your plums?
I looked at I can't see him hitting him. I mean, it looks like you figure he would have his face or something, and it wasn't like that. So it's like, wow, he said, you know, it was kind of like when I threw the right, it's a little snap at the end. You never see it coming. It's like, I don't know, man. You know, the face should be some kind of a movement like that, and he went down. They think, you know, I don't know.
So it's
You
good
gotta see
theater,
it.
maybe. You know, maybe
Still a
good
conspiracy.
acting. Yeah.
Still a conspiracy.
But
Yeah.
you know, I Googled when we came up with this subject. I did Google like top conspiracies and top 10, top 20.
And it's the famous picture. I have it in my office
Yeah.
of him standing over him after he did that. You see it. I looked at it over and over. I'm pulling up. You gotta see it, and you make your own judgment.
It's actually a good one. It rates it some. It's one of the top ones. So over to me. So I picked for my number 3 the George Brett Pine Tar Bat.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Very
July
good one.
24th, 1983, against the New York Yankees. George Brett hit a 2-run home run off of Goose Gossage. The Goose.
The
man.
goose.
Goose.
Hall of Famer, gave his team the lead. However, Yankees manager Billy Martin, who had noticed a large amount of pine tar,
Very large.
amount of pine tar on Brett's bat, requested that the umpires inspect the bat. The umpires ruled that the amount on the bat exceeded that allowed by the rule of the MLB. I believe it's 12 inches. And you can
think-
relate to 12 inches, can't you, Howard?
Yeah.
Okay. So it nullified the home run. So just a little quick audio of this.
I've never seen this.
I'm trying to be all cute and
I
everything.
think it's got to be 12 inches up. He had more than that.
We're gonna play it one more time. Hold on here. I'm trying to show this.
Oh, watch, he come flying out. You son of a...
And we'll post this video to the site. But man, George Brett came out of that freaking dugout like a crazed man.
Oh, yeah, crazy man.
It was a
He was
highlight
pissed.
reel for years, man. But what are the regulations, Miguel? You played a lot of baseball in high school and federation.
You
What is
can't
the rules?
go up like into the barrel at a certain point of it.
And
or
that's what
something
he did.
like
That's what he did.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you put on the handle and stuff, and then you kind of go up like the knob of the bat a little bit, and then you go basically just before the logo, kind of is like
Okay.
the cutoff kind of point.
So
So
there's a certain
certain
height you can
point.
go, but what effect would that have on hitting a baseball out of the ballpark? None.
I really don't know.
So Billy
for a
Martin
fact.
was sharp enough to say, "Hey, wait a minute! I
Yeah.
just found a loophole in the rules
Mhm.
that will invalidate that
Yeah, exactly.
home run." But the pine tar has nothing to do with the trajectory.
He's
of
got
the ball,
12
right?
inches.
Yeah.
He's got 12 inches of the bat that's pine tar. He went up 18.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the 12 inches on that plate, he overpassed it.
Yeah.
That's why he said, and I'm going to take it, Billy Martin. And he was pissed on it. That's why he come flying out of there.
Yeah, that's one of those iconic
Crazy.
sports moments, right?
Mhm.
I mean, so that was my number 3, Phil.
You'll never forget his hair or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that
He
was
was
classic.
crazy.
He used Pert shampoo, by the way.
And I left his glove at Total Sports and never got back.
Oh, you had a George Brett glove?
George Brett Wilson.
Wow.
Very nice.
Still hurts.
Number 3, I got to go with Tim Donaghy, man. With betting on NBA
Yeah.
games and, you know,
That was more recent.
yeah, a little bit more recent, but I guess it was going on for 11 years.
Yeah, it was a long time.
So that got the FBI involved. You know, it was proven that he was part of this ring. The problem was he was betting on his own games.
Wasn't it a 30,
Wow.
30 for 30 on him or something?
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I was trying to read up on it and refresh myself a little bit today, but I know he did some time for that. So
Mhm.
that's where I'm talking about. You have to draw the line.
Oh, big time.
When you're involved in it, there's just it throws out all the integrity of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that shit. It's
They
great.
have that
Just
much
can't
power. They have that
They
much
have
power to
power.
dictate the
Yeah.
You
game.
can call the foul.
Call what you
You
want.
can not see a timeout in time. You know what I mean? Anything.
Look away the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at
That's,
it. Even though he wasn't in when the Pistons lost to the Spurs, you remember when McDyess fouled somebody, bullshit call. So you look back at all that stuff and you just wonder
Mhm.
how many of those games were legit during that time frame. So
We got Aldo.
Was he
Lotto.
related to
Lotto.
McFly?
huh?
Was he related to McFly?
Who the fuck is that?
Who's that?
Dude, man, Back to the Future.
Marty
McFly.
Marty McFly.
Yeah,
Oh, Marty
McNugget.
McFly.
You don't even know what I'm
Sorry,
talking
I
about.
see anything with a Mick. I'm getting hungry. I'm a little hungry, guys. Anything with a Mick, McChicken, McFly. Take it easy. That's actually a good one. A lot of betting going on. You guys are picking up on a lot of these scandals.
Well, you
man.
know,
We're
as,
gonna get into a big one.
as
in a
playing
minute.
is all being athletes, right?
Yeah.
You kind of, when you looked at the striped guys, like they were like superior.
Yes.
They are the ones to lock on. They're going to make these calls, the proper calls.
Supposed to trust him.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can't because they could sway. And I've heard this from an umpire. I can make the game go as fast as I want. If I need to go somewhere and get out, so you're going to rush a call and take the integrity from the game. That I can't have. That I could never accept.
That umpire's telling me it's my zone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
We can argue with the guy and get thrown out of the
Yeah.
game. That's kind of like they
Yeah.
have that control, right?
It's shitty, but
It's the truth.
they have it.
They do. So yeah, that was my number 3. What was you, Mike?
Alright, next up for me, my fourth was the Houston Astros scandal, so I'll jump to my fifth one. I just think the NBA draft lottery, I mean, why go away from showing it live? You do it behind closed doors, and then you come out with an envelope. There's some bullshit in there. You direct where you want Victor Wembanyama to go. They're directing where they want these guys to go. They don't want them in small markets. They don't want them in Detroit. They don't want them in Houston.
And that probably goes to show what you just said
They're
earlier.
shitty.
About we get the 5th pick now.
It's
We're
terrible.
horrible.
3 years in a row. You have the best odds.
Unacceptable.
You
Now,
got
do you
the-
think some of that stuff is fixed?
Oh, it's fixed.
Oh,
It's got to be.
After last year, it was done.
It's done. When Victor Wembanyama went to I'm like, all right, I'll give it another chance. We got Cade. Okay, we got the first overall pick. It's just they direct the generational talent to where they want to go. San Antonio,
Bigger markets.
not a big market, but they're a great NBA market.
Yes,
There you go.
yes.
That's what it is. So, hey,
Championship caliber team.
let's kick them over here. Now you got the 4th and 8th pick this year too. It's like,
Come on.
come on, man. It's gonna be another juggernaut team coming out. So I just don't get why you do it behind closed doors like all the other ones. Worst team gets the top overall pick. Do the lottery in live time. Don't do it behind closed doors.
Didn't happen to the Knicks.
Yeah, no.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big
It's
market
shit.
team.
Yep. No, it just sucks. So I think that shit's rigged some way somehow. They
believe
direct where
it. I
they
believe
want to
so.
go.
Do better, NBA. Do
Yes.
better.
Got to. Come on, we got to do
Adam
better.
Silver. I like Adam Silver.
And I think
Now
he's
it's-
one of the better commissioners.
And now
I really do.
he's
But
slipping a little bit.
yeah, that draft shenanigans is terrible.
He's
Shitty.
kind of scary looking though, that guy.
Yeah, he's
Big
like an
long
alien.
screen, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, he look like
Yeah.
he fucking shows up to work in a UFO or something. little sketchy. That's a fucking Halloween costume in itself. What I'm saying about that.
That's what I'm sure of.
Hollywood.
All right, let's talk about Mr. Pete Rose. Could you say Peter Rose? Mr. Peter Rose.
Sweet Pete.
Betting on the games. I remember when I heard that he was suspended and he wasn't going to make the Hall of Fame, and it just broke my heart. He was a guy that even when I played ball, I would dive at first because of Pete Rose. And they'd always say, you're not going to get to the base any faster by doing it. I like Pete Rose. And that just broke my heart. Like, because I didn't understand. You know, when you're that type of caliber and you're playing or you're coaching, and he says no, but they said he was betting on his own games.
While he was coaching with the Reds.
Yeah.
So he was doing kind of a taboo type thing.
You got that much of a gambling problem where you affect people, other people. You know what I'm saying? And people, when you know, even as a kid growing up and you like Pete Rose, you know, it's like you don't understand why. Why can't he go to the Hall of Fame? Why is he spending? You just don't get it. And now you see as we're older now, and we see all this stuff going on, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But it's done. It's done. Some get caught, some don't.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, it sucked. I'm going to share that one with you, and then we'll just skip right to number 4.
And do you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame? Or do you believe that the punishment should still be held against him? What's your take on that?
Well, they banned him in 1991. They banned him from the Hall of Fame. That's the information.
So
that
he
I
should
got.
never be able to come back, all the great
I
credits?
think he should.
The writers penciled him in. They
Yeah.
could still do that, but that doesn't override how they
The
vote.
MLB.
The MLB, you can't
Right.
trump that, so, he should be reinstated. We talked about gambling, we talked about players that played for our Lions that got caught gambling inside the premises of, Allen Park.
We just re-signed one.
And we just re-signed the guy, so I get it, gambling back then may have been taboo, but I think what really made him, what did him in, is that he was betting, and he had the team, and he
Yeah.
managed the team, he was betting on his team,
It was
against
all on
his team.
himself.
So basically,
And
he
you
had
can
some
control
control
that.
of the
Yeah.
outcome, just like you were saying with some of these drafts being fixed, he may have been fixing games, he'll never admit that,
No.
but look what the guy did, look at his body of work, fantastic
it just
athlete.
sucks though, but rules are rules, right?
That's right.
I mean,
I mean, you can't do one for one and not for all, so yeah, I mean, the guy was a remarkable player, and I'm just like, he made me think of something about the head first slide. I remember that was badass, and every time you see Pete Rose stealing a bag, like, man, he'd go head first, no
Helmet flying
fear,
off.
no
He played
fear,
it
man.
Dragon.
And the guy was lightning, and he was like,
Yes.
man, such a good ball player, but,
Pete still did pretty good. Remember him getting tombstone by the Undertaker at WrestleMania?
did he really? I don't remember that, no shit.
Pete Rose,
He did a lot of public appearances and things
Yeah,
like that. So.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was my number, I'll just share that one with Hollywood.
Okay, good one. My number 4 is the Michael Vick dogfighting scandal, because this was huge too.
Oh yeah,
And this is a
absolutely.
classic example of like, sometimes your boys from your past, man, can get you in a lot of trouble, and who's to say there's a lot of this and that about how involved he was in it, but a lot was said about he's leaving his crib to his buddies, and, this, that, and the other thing, so, that doesn't make sense, but all right.
Let the dogs out.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had a Vic jersey. Vic was on top of the world, the best player in Madden,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, so.
Talent too, man, just a talent. That guy was
You
amazing.
could take it over.
No, I'm just saying he was a talent. I'm going with you, dude. He was a talented ball player, man.
What about what his wife
It
said?
kind of
though?
wrecked his career.
When she came home and walked in, all them cronies were just sitting there in her house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you open your doors and let people take advantage of you, that's what they'll do.
And she's like, what the? And he's playing on the road, and they're just in there, and there's booze, and there's like,
What was he thinking?
You drink your liquor,
Just-
Let your boys get a little too close to you, they take everything from you.
That's right, man. You don't mind, it's okay.
and I think
right?
they probably used him a little bit too, as well. You know what I'm saying? It was like a frat house.
Yeah, right.
Well,
But again, he bounced back, but took a lot of heat.
Lot of
A
heat.
ton of heat from people. And, rightfully so, because I'm a dog lover. I hated
Yeah.
that shit. But,
Yeah.
I know it goes on in the daily, and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's one of your favorite athletes. You know what I'm saying? So, I still remember that Green Bay game, like that long run in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Upsetting Green Bay, amazing. But
I forgive him. You forgive him?
I do, even though
Yeah.
everybody, was gonna have a take on that.
Yeah.
But I believe in second chances, and I said that all along. Even said that back then.
Yeah, he flourished with a second chance. He took it and ran with it. Now
Yes, and you did good.
He's an analyst and stuff now, and he's a prominent figure. Like
Analysts,
on TV
advocate,
shows and stuff. Yeah.
And that's good too, because you remember all them people outside that stadium
Oh,
when he was walking up.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I felt.
Protest.
It's something. Well, how do you feel bad for this guy? It's like, was he there? Did you see him have money in his hand, going dog after dog like this? These people around, Vic had the money. He was the money man. They were using his home. Now, did he know that there was dogs there? Probably. He probably knew that maybe they were fighting.
Yeah.
Thinking, whatever. Well, them dog lovers, they'll go deep.
yep.
And sometimes they even go deep over human.
Yeah.
Oh,
And, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgive him.
All right. So that was my
It's a
number
good
4. Mike, over to you, man.
Yeah, so number 5, like I said, I shared with Hollywood over there, but I'll go with my 6th choice, kind of, is the steroid era of baseball.
Oh, yes.
How many, like, Barry Bonds, my favorite baseball player. I can't deny that the dude didn't do steroids or anything like that. But I always say there's a talent, you have to hit the baseball. Hitting a
Yeah.
baseball is the hardest thing, I think, to do in professional sports.
And then you're talking crushing.
Crushing a baseball. So
Look at his
the
picture
power.
as his rookie. His
Yeah.
rookie
Oh,
picture,
yeah.
he's a skeleton,
Yeah,
man.
I
And all
mean,
of a sudden,
the power, definitely juicing helps with the power and stuff like that, but you still have to have the hand-eye coordination.
Oh,
You
there's
still
no
have to
doubt
hit a
about
baseball.
that. Even at his age.
There's so much more talent that
Yeah.
went into it, having an eye, just everything about it. So, how many guys in the steroid era didn't get caught juicing? You see all these guys. I went back and I'm just looking at MVP ballots. these dudes are hitting 59 home runs, driving in 160 runs, finishing like 10th in the MVP ballot.
McGuire,
absurd.
Socha.
It was
And Seiko,
it was
the
an
rat.
It was an
Yeah,
absurd time
Bush.
for baseball.
A-Rod.
Each way to way.
But it was what was it? The funnest time for baseball. You're watching home run races. Mark McGuire and
Oh,
Sammy
that-
Sosa chasing
We
history.
talked about the last time you were on
It's
the
great.
show, remember? It was
Yeah.
such a great time.
Dude, it was just nuts. Like I was young. I remember when Mark McGuire broke the record. When he did it, I was watching it with my dad. He woke me up. I was sleeping. He's like, "Hey, watch this at bat." And then he hit the home run, and then Barry Bonds the same thing. Like I was young, but I remember all that shit. It
He did something, or you
sweet.
wake up the next day, did he get a home run?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit one last night. Oh man, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
but I'm like, he woke me up, watches at bats, and boom, got to see that shit. So it's just that kind of stuff that was exhilarating to watch. It was awesome, awesome TV.
Rush home every day to watch it.
Yeah, I know. Now I don't. No, I rush home, pay $20 for Valley, and I watch the shit. Dog shit product. It's
And
terrible.
you had Sosa too.
Yeah, I know. Shoot, everybody.
Did you ever see the bomb that Barry Bonds hit? He hit it so hard, and he hit it far, and into that boat with them two guys in there.
I think the Cubby Cove dude get so many out there. Is just
In the
crazy.
boat, landed in the boat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Good one, Mike. Howie, what were you, man?
All right, this is the fourth one?
It should be
Fifth.
5.
Yeah.
Okay,
Five.
fine. Well, I think you guys really like this one. My back is broken. Spinal. Spinal. The conspiracy with Tyson when they sent him to prison about that rape. Some say Mike had to go away. And he wasn't the brightest. And they put this on him. It was a perfect opportunity. You know, he goes in. Lady girl comes at the place. Late hours of the night. Next thing you know, boom, he's going away. In the prime of his career.
Yeah.
The prime what Mike would have been, you didn't see it. Kind of like Ali when they took him for different reasons. You've got to go away for a while. And like he said, even Mike said, that was the worst time of his life and being in the hole and everything like that. You know, Mike didn't even understand what a $100 bill was. He's going in the park like this. Hey, everybody buy some shoes, buy some shoes. You know what I mean? $100 bills. He don't understand the concept. Because he's like, I would steal from an old person, rob from him. It didn't matter to him. And they used him because that's what they do. You know what I mean? It's very sad because he probably really didn't. He probably, fornicating with her and shit like that.
He's trying to fornicate.
Yeah, trying to get her from behind, Only they know what happened.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Manipulation, man.
And that took the best time of his years of his boxing, man.
Couldn't you believe that those promoters took advantage of him too?
Oh,
100%.
building your daughter, this is not Mike, don't worry about it. He don't know anything. And Don King did that. And he almost killed him. He went after him and found out, your daughter building a house and my money? Because people started telling him, Mike, you need to wisen up.
Yeah.
This guy's stealing from you, man, left and right. You're worth $300 million. Where's your money at? Don King's got it. So yeah, that conspiracy was a big one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one when I was thinking about this. That's a great one.
Very sad.
Yeah, definitely. Mike's a bad boy though.
Yes.
Is.
You'll look on Jake Paul's ass too.
I know.
I don't like that person no more. I don't like him.
That's one of them knocking.
What's the age difference between those two guys?
Oh, probably like 25, 30 years.
That's the
Probably.
biggest age gap in
Yeah,
professional
it's
fight
it's
history.
insane.
Yeah.
Pretty huge.
All right, be over to you.
My last one, I put Lance Armstrong. He was such a popular figure. If you weren't a cyclist, but he had his wristbands. He's bad, testicular cancer,
Yes.
this and that. Everyone's wearing these little yellow bands.
Live strong.
Live strong, and he's making a mint off of that. And he was doping the whole time. So he got his Tour de France. They stripped him of all that, the Olympics and all that. So here was a guy who was, talk about a guy getting his flowers. He was getting all these commercials and all these.
Oh, and I felt bad for
endorsements
him. I did.
and then he had to just come clean and they tested him, man. He tested
Gee.
positive for all the wrong things.
Why?
And they're like,
Was he a 7-time champion?
yeah, he was amazing, man, but he was juicing the whole
Gee.
time. And he was just passing people like they were standing still. Like, this guy's amazing, but, he was enhancing everything he was doing. And so, there it is.
Now, do you agree? If you agree to take something, because that is a war. To take something for your body, but not like that. Now he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
But
Because
there's
you gotta
rules
stay
in
healthy.
place, right? I mean, if you're
Exactly.
if you have to, follow them, you have to follow them. I mean, just like you're talking about these baseball players. If this guy's, taking, steroids and everything, and he could crush a ball every other bat, I mean, it's just, you look at him as he's growing in front of you like the Incredible Hulk, and all of a sudden, you're like, God damn. I remember Mark McGwire was the same type of player. This guy was hitting baseballs 450 feet with no problem.
But wasn't it growth hormone pills too and stuff they couldn't take or whatever? I mean, you're figuring these big figures, and this is major league too.
Mm-hmm.
The baseball starts getting kind of the crowd, they're leaving early. There's no excitement. We got to start having a long ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys like, man, I got to stay freaking healthy, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Day in and day out, not just working out. I'm sore and this and that. I need to take a little something to, and that's how it all starts.
I mean, some of that stuff I think should be somewhat legalized in what they do. I'm not saying it's like taboo that you're taking enhancers or something that will build your body mass up or strengthen you of sorts. Like, look at Kelvin Johnson, man. He's known smoking weed all the time, but it's helping him, right? You don't think Kelvin Johnson was smoking weed when he was playing NFL football? Because
Look for instance.
Yeah.
Look what they did to Favre.
Yeah,
Get in the game, come out of the locker room, shot him up that Novocaine, broken ankle.
right. He's back out
Get out
there in
there
the third
and
quarter.
turn him into a
playing like
junkie
he's-
for 2 years.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's been going around. That shit's been in there for years. That goes
Because
back.
they wanted to win.
You know.
It was okay then.
Right, go
But
see
you
the
turn
guy.
that man up and he became a pill popper
Yeah.
for 2 years.
It's that part of it's unfortunate, but I think that talk about something that helps you. I mean, that was the perfect example right there. Brett Favre would be looking like a cripple walking off the field at halftime, and all of a sudden, fourth quarter, he looks like he just started the game. All of a sudden, man, that juice started working, and he got his bearings back, and like, what the hell happened with this guy?
And then he got hooked.
Yeah, got hooked. So that's that's the unfortunate side of it. But
Yeah.
some of these enhancers, I don't think it's all bad. But then the bad stuff, you just gotta whatever. It's out there. I still think it is. Still think it's somewhere out there.
They control it, I believe.
Oh yeah, going into the tent.
Who's taking the fall?
What are they doing in the tent?
They're not.
Right.
You are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. Get back out there.
Yeah.
No, good one. That's a popular one. My last one, Hollywood, you like this, is the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, I was thinking about that
In
earlier.
Canada. This is
Oh,
like
yeah.
the first time, wrestling, like, the curtains got peeled back. You know what I mean? Bret Hart's leaving the WCW. Big time contract. Like, this was big because
Very big.
Vince was on with Bob Costas.
Yep.
Talked to him about it, and he was supposed to win that night and lose the next night. He's like, no, fuck that. I'm going to get him on the way out. And he had him in a hold. Just rang the bell. Okay, Bret spit on him.
Oh yeah. That was
Assaulted
crazy.
him in the locker
Crazy,
room.
dude.
And
Assaulted.
This is all legit. This isn't like made up at all. So, it was a whole big story. And for sports entertainment, it was a big scandal. It's a conspiracy because it went mainstream. And I think that's when wrestling took that next step. So that was a big one as a kid. I was like, wow, this is actually
It made me
business.
pissed. I know that. I was pissed at Vince. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was a big Bret Hart fan. So that does it for the Fives Elite Boys. Great job. So we're gonna take our last pause. You can hear the rest of the show on Apple and Spotify. It's going to be audio only. So big shout out to 24th Street Pizza, St. Clair Shores Green Hornets, my uncle's Auto Repair, and Eli's Eats in the Streets.
Eli's
So-
eats in the streets.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Love y'all. Be good.
Peace.